And in the interest of objectivity, I guess I should point out that it's also my Maryland, because Margaret and I grew up here and we live here today. It also holds a special place in the career and in the heart of the man who will be riding the Kentucky Derby winner today. Jack Whitaker tells us about Chris McCarron.
Thank you very much, Jim. And, of course, Chris broke onto the riding scene in splendor here in Maryland at Pimlico, Laurel and Bowie. But he is, as you know, a true son of Dorchester, Massachusetts. A New England boy sells his heart to the Red Sox and leaves it with them even if he moves to California. Chris McCarron's New England roots go deep. That's where he fell in love with horses.
I was sitting in my living room at home with the rest of my family, and my brother Greg was there, and Greg had just begun riding. And he was cheering for Bill Hartsack coming to the stretch, and he was riding Majestic Prince, and when he came down there the last eighth of the mile, Greg was just jumping 10 feet off the floor. Come on, Bill, come on, Bill. And I was distracted from watching the race by watching Greg, and it was just an unbelievable thing to see somebody so excited about a sporting event. And I've been hooked on it ever since.
So Chris followed brother Greg to Pimlico, where his real education began.
That's when I met my wife, Judy, and she was a groom at the time. And I went back and finished school, graduated in 72, and came back on the racetrack, and I've been on it ever since. I was a groom and a hot walker all throughout 1972, began exercising horses down in South Carolina for O.E. Cleland the first week in January of 73. And then I rode my first race on January 24th of 74.
In 2 weeks, Chris had won his first race. He then went on to win a record total of 546 races that year, and the Eclipse Award as the outstanding jockey in the nation. He was no flash in the pan. He followed up his sensational rookie year with more consistently fine performances and established himself firmly as one of the top riders in the world. He won another Eclipse Award along the way and moved from the Maryland tracks to the California circuit, where he held his own with the Bill Shoemakers and the Lafitte Pincays. Last year, after finishing second in the Derby on bold arrangement, Chris took his first mount trained by Woody Stevens in the Belmont, and on a wet and slippery track, urged Danzig Connection home first to give Woody his record fifth straight Belmont Stakes. And life was sweet for Chris McCarron. And then, as it must to most jockeys, Lady Luck blinked. Just 2 weeks after returning from a shoulder injury last October, Chris was involved in a spill at Santa Anita. Down he went with Lafitte Pincay on top, this time a broken leg.
The doctor told me it would probably be a year, and I just figured, well, maybe I'll be ready for the Derby in '88, you know, but the doctors did a fantastic job putting it all back together.
Chris used his time off to move his family of his wife and 3 daughters into his new home at the top of the Beverly Hills. He was back long before the year was up, back to ride in one of the roughest Kentucky Derbies of them all.
Once I got down the backside, I thought, oh good, I'll be able to get to the outside now, and the rest of the trip should be uneventful, but I was wrong. Just after we straightened away, I just had Bet twice to get by, and he kind of ducked out quite a bit when Craigford hit him left-handed. He surprised the colt when he hit him, and he swerved, and he came right in my path. And when he clipped heels and stumbled as severely as he did, I thought that the ground was going to be coming up. I had nothing to do with him staying up. He just happened to be agile enough to get back on his feet. I was astonished when he went to run again, Alysheba, and went by him. I couldn't believe it. Horses just don't do that after an incident like that. When I hit the wire was when I was just like, I can't believe this happened. You know, I can't believe how close he came to falling, didn't fall, won the race. And then I thought, oh my God, how lucky am I? There were 15 horses behind me. My guardian angel was working overtime. I can thank the good Lord for keeping me on that horse.
Are you back down off the clouds yet?
I sure am. I had to be here to ride this horse.
Absolutely. How's your guardian angel? Did he make the weight today?
He sure did. He's going to get on the scale right behind me.
Well, a lot of people here think Crypto Clearance is going to be your big competition today, Chris. What is the track like? We've heard so much about how much softer it is this year than it's been in past Preaknesses.
Well, just looking at it with the naked eye, there appears to be a little bit more cushion on it than it has been in past years. And I'm certainly happy to see that, because that sort of favors horses that come from behind usually. The way the race has been playing the last 2 days, it looks like it's favoring a little bit of more so the horses coming from behind.
Well, you should have a better run of it than you did down in Kentucky, and all the best to you. Have a good, safe one again.
Thanks, Mr. Whitaker.
Okay.
Appreciate it.
Right, sir. Now back to Al Michaels.
All right, Jack and McCarron will be riding the co-favorite as we take a look at the current odds now. Bet twice.